Hello everyone, welcome to the market opening bell on Monday, June 9th. Following a phone call between the leaders of China and the US last Thursday, Hong Kong stocks opened higher last Friday. The Hang Seng Index peaked at 23,951 points, the highest since March 24th, closing at 23,793 points, up 503 points or 2.2% from the previous week. The Hang Seng China Enterprises Index closed at 8,630 points, up 2.3% week on week. The Hang Seng Tech Index closed at 5,287 points, also up 2.3% week on week. Southbound funds net purchased 6.766 billion Hong Kong dollars in Hong Kong stocks last Friday, including BYD 2.595 billion Hong Kong dollars, Meituan 995 million, China Construction Bank 695 million, Alibaba 652 million, and CSPC Pharmaceutical 528 million. Net sales included Tencent Holdings 1.39 billion Hong Kong dollars. Li Auto 274 million and SMIC 253 million. Statistics show southbound funds have net bought Meituan for 15 consecutive days, totaling 16.48 billion Hong Kong dollars. BYD for 4 consecutive days, totaling 3.883 billion, while net selling Tencent for 6 consecutive days, totaling 5.911 billion, and Xiaomi for 4 consecutive days, totaling 4.178 billion. Mainland Chinese markets also rose last week. The Shanghai Composite Index closed at 3,385 points on Friday, up 1.1% week on week. The Shenzhen Component Index closed at 10,183 points, up 1.4% week on week. The Hang Seng Index remains capped at 24,000 points. U.S. President Trump stated that U.S.-China trade negotiators will resume talks in London on Monday. It remains to be seen if this will help the Hang Seng break through 24,000 points, targeting 24,400 and 24,750, with support at 23,500 points. Today, China will release inflation, trade, and credit data. Forecasts include May CPI year-on-year at 0.2%, previous minus 0.1%. May PPI year-on-year at -3%, previous -2.7%. New renminbi loans for the first 5 months are expected at 10.96 trillion yen. First 4 months, 10.0597 trillion yen. Social financing scale for the first 5 months is expected at 18.543 trillion yen, compared with first 4 months 16.3429 trillion yen. May M2 money supply year-on-year at 8.1% growth. Previous growth was 8%. Hong Kong gaming stocks surged collectively last Friday, with Flend Times up 10%, ZX up nearly 10% with high volume, Game One up over 8%. Gamma Data's 2025 China Gaming Industry Trends and Potential Analysis report noted that the mini-game program has grown rapidly in recent years, with a compound growth rate of 182.3% from 2022 to 2024. In 2024, China's mini-game market reached nearly 40 billion yuan, with a year-on-year growth rate of 99.18%, nearly doubling in size. The resumption of US-China trade talks combined with stronger than expected US May non-farm payroll data alleviated concerns about economic slowdown. US stocks performed strongly last Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 600 points at one point, closing up 443 points or 1.1% at 42,762 points. The Nasdaq rose 231 points or 1.2% to 19,529 points. The S&P 500 rose 61 points or 1% to 6,000 points, the highest since late February, about 2% from its all-time high. For the week, the Dow rose 1.2%, the S&P 500 rose 1.5%, and the Nasdaq rose 2.2%. The Nasdaq Golden Dragon China Index, reflecting Chinese ADRs, fell slightly by 4 points to 7,289 points. After a 14% plunge on Thursday, due to a public spat between Elon Musk and Trump, Tesla rebounded, closing up 3.8%. Tech stocks performed well with Amazon up 2.8%, Meta and Apple up nearly 2%, and Nvidia up 1.2%. Microsoft hit a new intraday high on Friday, its highest since July 2024, with the market cap exceeding 3.5 trillion US dollars, reclaiming the title of the world's most valuable company, surpassing Nvidia's 3.466 trillion and Apple's 3.045 trillion. Sources say China has approved temporary export licenses for rare earth supplies to major US automakers, some valid for 6 months, though it's unclear which materials are covered. Ford and Stellantis rose over 2%, while General Motors rose less than 1%. On earnings, Lululemon cut its full-year profit forecast, causing a 19.8% drop in its stock price. Broadcom beat profit and revenue expectations but still fell 5%. Stablecoin issuer Circle Internet, on its second day of US listing, rose 39% from Thursday's close, 267% above its IPO price of 31 US dollars. Economic data showed U.S. May non-farm payrolls increased by 139,000, slightly down from April's revised 147,000, but above the expected 130,000. However, March and April job numbers were revised down by a combined 95,000. The unemployment rate remained at 4.2%, meeting expectations. May average hourly earnings rose 0.4% above April's 0.2% and exceeding the expected 0.3%, marking the largest wage increase since January. Over the past 12 months, average hourly earnings grew 3.9%, matching April's revised figure and surpassing the expected 3.7%. Additionally, Federal Reserve data showed U.S. April consumer credit increased by 17.87 billion US dollars, up from March's 10.17 billion and above the expected 10.85 billion. Revolving credit, including credit cards, grew at an annual rate of 7%, indicating robust consumer spending. Despite the strong jobs data, Trump urged Fed Chair Powell on Friday to cut interest rates by 1%, claiming it will lower rates on upcoming debt maturities and the Fed could raise rates if inflation resurges. Trump's tax reform bill is expected to increase government borrowing, adding 550 billion US dollars in interest expenses on future national debt, raising the bill's 10-year cost to 3 trillion US dollars. US national debt already exceeds 36.2 trillion US dollars, even without new legislation, assuming spending and revenue remain at historical averages. The debt could exceed 250% of US GDP by 2055. Our stock pick today is Kuaishou, stock code 1024. Kuaishou continues to advance its business through artificial intelligence, AI technology, strengthening its content and commercial ecosystem with intelligent upgrades. This enhances the platform experience for users and content creators while improving operational efficiency for merchants and online marketing clients. In Q1 this year, Kuaishou's average daily active users reached 408 million, a record high, marking the third consecutive quarter above 400 million. Total revenue grew 10.9% year to 32.6 billion yuan, with online marketing services revenue at 18 billion yuan, up 8%. The group's Q1 gross margin was nearly 55%, with adjusted net profit reaching 4.6 billion yuan and an adjusted net profit margin of 14%. After 2 years of implementing a focused strategy on core international markets, Kuaishou achieved its first quarterly operating profit in its overall overseas business in Q1. E-commerce GMV grew 15.4% year-on-year to 332.3 billion yuan, with monthly active buyers reaching 135 million. The group provided new merchants with abundant co-start traffic and policies to reduce operating costs, resulting in over 30% growth in new merchants joining Kuaishou in Q1. Kuaishou remains committed to applying AI large-scale models across multiple domains, offering merchants in the live streaming sector a full suite of intelligent tools, including AI-generated scripts, live teleprompters, and intelligent product selection. These tools have helped an increasing number of new merchants achieve operational breakthroughs. The group's new businesses also showed promising results, demonstrating strong potential for a second growth curve. Kuaishou's Kling AI accelerated commercialization, generating over 150 million yuan in revenue in Q1. In April, the group announced a major upgrade to its video generation model, launching Kling AI 2.0 globally. It introduced the new concept of multimodal visual language (MVL) and rolled out multimodal editing functions, allowing users to input images, videos, audio, and motion trajectories to create innovative videos. Creators can also add, remove, or replace visual elements in generated videos, offering greater flexibility in the editing process. Kling AI is now widely used in advertising, short dramas, and smart terminals. The group has integrated AI technology into its content and commercial ecosystem, empowering the entire online marketing service process with AI, including AIGC marketing material production, intelligent marketing agents, and large-scale marketing recommendation models. This has improved clients' marketing conversion efficiency. In Q1, AIGC marketing materials accounted for an average daily ad spend of approximately 30 million yuan. Additionally, the group launched real-time interactive features for digital human live streaming rooms, boosting conversion rates. Recommendation buy at 57 Hong Kong dollars with an initial target at $62, then $65. Stop loss at $54. I do not hold the above stock.